Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee Break by ClimbingArborist.com. My name is Dan Holliday, and in this episode I'm going to talk about positivity and mindset in tree work. So this topic has been brought to me from an email I received by Joseph Beachy, and I'll read you Joseph's email. He says, I was hoping for your take on discouraging days doing the job, bad mistakes, absent mindlessness, and or negative projections of what the future holds. It seems like some days make me question what the hell I'm doing and if I will ever become proficient enough. My eventual goal is to sell my own work and contract climb, but days like today seriously make me doubt that. So obviously Joseph's had a day or two that have been really kind of disheartening, discouraging, and there's so many things, so many reasons why that happens, and that happens to all of us. So first of all, whenever you get like disheartened, discouraged, like the jobs that you're working on are a bit crap, team morale's down, that kind of stuff, you just have to tell yourself, like, this happens to everybody. Not everybody is having the best day every time they go to work. Like, tree work is so amazing because it allows us the opportunity to have a different day every single day of the week. We go to a different job site, we do a different kind of pruning, or we do a different removal. Like, there's so much variety in our jobs that make the job so amazing. So sometimes you're going to get those crappy jobs. Sometimes you're going to get a 2-day hedge removal that's just like, seems like it's never ending. Some days the drag of debris is going to be, it's going to be like a 10-minute drag of branches there and back, and you've got all this debris to remove, and that's the only way to get it out of the yard, and there's no easy access. Someday it's going to be absolutely pouring with rain, or it's going to be snowing, or it's going to be baking hot, and it's just like relentless. And those are the hard days, and then you just get like days that are underbid, and somebody expects so much more of you, and you just like hustling all day long, and you're just not getting a break. And then it's those kind of days where it's crappy, the weather's crap, it's hard, that you start to feel like, oh, I'm not appreciated enough, I don't get paid enough, and because those kind of days is generally when the entire crew probably feels the same, because if it's crappy weather, it really takes a good crew that get along together really well to really keep that morale high, and joke around, and make light the fact that you're getting absolutely drenched, and it's not the best environment for work, but you got to get through it anyway. It takes a special type of bond to really like laugh and joke it off, or the same in like really hot heat, or just like a job that is just you're never going to complete in time, and it's like the longer the day goes on, and the less likely you're going to complete the job. All those situations, it really takes a strong crew to like keep that morale high. And sometimes that's when you start questioning, like I say, do I get paid enough for this? Why do I even do this job? Should I go and find something else to do, or should I go and find another career? And it's that time when you kind of need to remind yourself, or you need those tools in the toolbox mentally to be able to deal with that little voice in your head, asking all these questions. Because at the end of the day, it's the age-old saying of like, the grass is always greener. So is this company like, are they paying me enough? Is it crap? Do they appreciate me? Shall I go and work for another company? And you might see another company that day doing like a cool removal, in like, oh, they get all the best jobs, and so then you jump ship, and then 2 months down the line you have those same crappy days again, and you realize, oh no, the grass isn't always greener. or do you decide to have a career change? In that moment, you're like, oh, do I want to be an arborist? Am I getting the chance to learn? Am I ever going to get the skills that I need to become a proficient climber? So then you make a career change. But what you have to do is you have to just take a moment and look at why you chose to do this in the first place. Like for me, I'm an outdoors kind of a person. I love being outdoors, and I just hate being cooped up. And I run my own business, but if I have to spend more than one day in a row doing like office admin work, I'm just not productive after that. I get such cabin fever, and I get so, I know, down, and I'm not productive because I'm not outside. I need to be outside. And so when I have those days, now I personally have kind of realized you just have to get through that day. So whatever it takes to get through that day, if it's running over or it's raining, you just do whatever it takes to get through that one day. Try and create energy, even if you're wet. If it's raining, you're wet, you're cold, you're tired. If you try and lift that mood, if you're conscious enough and aware enough to try and lift that mood, crack a joke with your team, and then they'll maybe feed off your energy, they'll lighten up a bit, and then you can carry each other through. It's if somebody makes a negative comment, and then that makes you start thinking negatively, and then you pass that on to another crew member, and everybody's thinking negatively, and then it's just downward spiral from there. So first of all, it's about identifying those days, and identifying it early when you're really starting to struggle and starting to feel like this is not a good day, and trying to generate that positivity. Because for me, I know now this is the job for me. I got into this because I love being outdoors. I love being in trees. I love climbing. I love using chainsaws. If I think of all the different aspects of tree work, I love rigging. Like, I go out and climb trees on days when I'm not working. Like, that shows how much I enjoy the job that I do. The passion that I have for trees is if you go out and do it in your own time, and still, you're still climbing, you're still learning. When it comes to learning, if you're getting disheartened about, you want to be a climber, but you feel like you're not being taught and you're not being given the opportunities, and last week, I'm even worse than I was when I climbed last week. All these kind of things. You have to remember, learning to climb is not going to happen overnight. Like, no matter how much we live in an age of internet, and you can learn everything on the internet, and you can fix things that you never knew how to do because you follow a video, that is not tree climbing. You can't watch a video and then instantly be a tree climber. It really takes years. It takes a good couple of years to start even getting the feel of being able to climb properly, and then it takes another 4 or 5 years to really become, I'd say, like, proficient at it. And then even now, I've been doing it for 18 years and I'm still learning, like, all of the time. I'm still watching other people doing things online, and going to competitions and conferences, and talking with people, doing my podcast. So I'm talking with people that are way more knowledgeable than I am, and just like, I'm soaking up all that information, and I'm learning all of the time. So if you're learning to climb, or if you really want to become a climber, and you're only a few months in, or even like a year, 2 years in, you just have to remind yourself it's not going to happen overnight. You just need to keep practicing. You need to keep educating yourself, reading books, watching videos, going out and practicing in your own time. You know, tying knots, climbing, just moving around, limb walking, getting more familiar. It's tree climbing and learning to climb is all about familiarity. I can't even say that word. It's just feeling familiar and comfortable and secure in your harness and with the equipment, with the life support equipment. So feeling like you trust your ropes and you trust your harness, you trust your carabiners, and then once you become really familiar, you then don't have to think about that anymore. So then you can think about the task in hand, and then you can think about your balance and your position and your confidence, and then you're using tools while you're climbing and all that kind of stuff. So and I'll give you a bit of a backstory for me. Once I'd been doing tree work for maybe 6 years or so, I was absolutely sick of it, and I went through one of those times where I was questioning everything. Do I even want to do this anymore? Do I enjoy this job? And for me, it was just a job. It wasn't, it wasn't a lifestyle. It wasn't. I hadn't realised how much I loved being outside and being physical and all that kind of stuff. It was just literally a job to pay the bills, to earn some money, and I took about a year and a half off, and then when I came back to it, I started getting back into it, realised actually I do quite like this, and then that's when I really started going online, using forums, communicating with people, asking questions, looking into the new equipment, evolving my own climbing style that had been the same since I started, and then I started getting excitement over new equipment, new climbing techniques, new rigging techniques, and I became more interested in the job, and as a result I became more interested in everything that surrounded it. I became a part of the community. I started tree climbing competitions, which was absolutely phenomenal, and that's been one of the biggest things for me is starting tree climbing competitions. I've met so many people, and those people that I've met have really made me feel like I'm part of a community within the industry, and yeah, competition as well, just having the competition, but also having the camaraderie with all the fellow arborists from different parts of the chapter that are competing, and hearing different people's stories, and hearing that the different companies that they work for, large, small, utility work, residential work, municipal work. There's people from all different walks of life coming into the industry, sharing the stories, getting together, and it's things like that make you realise this is such an awesome job, awesome community to be a part of, and I think that's what makes this job so interesting and so good. If you can surround yourself with people that are constantly learning, that have more knowledge than you do, that want to talk about trees, that love to climb trees outside of work time, that just love the job they do, love the intricacies of rigging and all that kind of stuff, that is what will make you realize that you want to be part of this job, and why you do it. So what I'd say is, if you get disheartened, just don't think about that time and place and the present that you're in right there and then while you're getting disheartened. Just get through the day, and then have a rethink, and then be like, was that just a bad day, or have I had so many of those bad days that I don't think I like this job anymore, or have I had so many of those bad days that I want to move companies? Have I had so many of those bad days because of the people that I work with, and I don't get along with them, and they don't have the same passion and drive that I do, or they don't have passion and drive that I'm looking for, that is going to spur me on? But if it's just getting disheartened because of the one bad job, terrible weather, underbid work, being, not feeling appreciated, just wait until the day or two is over, and then reanalyze. And I think that's when you'll make a decision of why you're feeling down. Because give it a day or two, you'll have a conversation with somebody, you'll have a good day, you'll get to climb again, you'll get that real buzz, you'll do an awesome job, you'll be part of a team that absolutely crushes a job, and and then remember that feeling. You want to really save that great feeling of how you absolutely killed it one day, how you did an awesome climb, and things were just flowing and nothing went wrong. And then when you have a crappy day, you can think back to those good days and be like, yeah, that's why I do it. It's not because of these crap days. So I hope you enjoyed my take on that, and thank you again for Joseph's email. That was really good food for thought. If anybody else has any ideas and topics that they want me to chat about and give my take on, then please email me or contact me through Instagram and Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again. Bye.